Welcome. And quiz 3, compound equations and inequalities, is what we're going to do now. And we're going to talk about Alonzo. Alonzo brings $21 to the market to buy eggs and avocados, and he gets the eggs that cost $2.50. He then notices that the store only sells avocados in bags of three for $5. He wants to buy as many avocados as he can, right, with his remaining money. So we're going to call B the number of bags that he buys, and then we're going to let it represent. We're going to look at which inequality here, 1, 2, 3, or 4, would be the best to represent this situation. Notice I've underlined a couple things. The cost of the avocados is a fixed cost. Sorry, the cost of the eggs is a fixed cost. And then the avocados are 3 for $5. That's a variable cost depending on how many bags B that he buys. So that's all represented in here, but which one of these do we choose? Well, the first thing to notice, you notice they all have $2.50, right? Because that's the fixed cost. No matter what, he spends $2.50 because of the eggs. Now, which one of these is going to be more realistic? One thing to think about is, well, he's got $21, so can he spend more than $21? Can he spend more than $21? Can he spend $22 or $23 or $24? Think about it. Well, the thing is, if you think about it, how could he spend more money than he has? He would have to beg, borrow, or steal money from somebody in order to have more money than he has. And that's not realistic in this problem. It would have to tell you that. So there's not a possibility of choosing number 4 because it's greater than 21. And also number 2 because it's greater than or equal to 21. And we're not going to, he's not going to be able to spend more money than he has. So then the question now becomes, is it $2.50 plus 5 times B less than or equal to 20, and this is $2.50 plus 3B. Now, what's the difference between the 5 and the 3? Both of them appear back here. It's 3 avocados for $5 because per bag. Well, what we're calculating here, realistically, what is this? This is a statement of money. So $2.50 plus $5 times the number of bags is less than or equal to 21. How's that possible? What does that mean? Well, if we had one bag, and again, I always tell you, when you have a variable, always put in a number just to give it some reality. If you have one bag, this is what he gets, $2.50 plus $5 times 1, it's $7.50, and that's less than or equal to 21. So clearly, that choice is there for him. He just buys one bag, and that's okay. He'd only have 3 avocados, though. What if he bought 2 bags? Over here, if he bought 2 bags, he'd get $2.50 plus 5 times 2, which is $10, and he ends up with $12.50, right? Okay, that's fine, but then he's getting 6 avocados. You see this chart here, the number of bags and then the number of avocados. You know, 3 bags is 9 avocados, but what would happen if he bought 3 bags? I mean, are we still in range here? It's $2.50 plus 5 times 3, which is equal to, that's going to be equal to $17.50. So is it less than or equal to 21? Now, is there a way we can figure this out more quickly? Yes, there is, actually. What we could do is we could go ahead and solve for B. And we're going to subtract $2.50 on both sides, right? Because that's how we solve for a variable. We use the golden rule of equations and inequalities, and we, whatever we do on one side, we're going to do on the other. We end up with 5B being less than or equal to 1850, and then we're going to divide by 5 on both sides and do my double arrow thing here. We're going to get B is less than or equal to 3.7. But of course, we can't really have a partial number. We can't round it up to 4 because that could be too many bags. That would bust his bank. He would have, if he bought 4 bags of this stuff, it would be $22.50. He doesn't have that kind of money. So it's got to go down to 3. And therefore, we're going to say B equals 3. He was able to give 3 bags. And that total cost is going to be less than or equal to 21 because, like I said, the 3 bags are going to cost, they're 3 bags and they're $5 each. So they're going to cost $18.50, and it all works out. So this is how you answer the second part of the question. What is the largest number of avocados that Alonzo can afford? And the answer to this will be, just let me create a little space for it. I want to just move all this down so that you're clear about what the question is asking you. and what it's not. And so the clear answer to this would be he's allowed to buy 3, and I'm going to put a box around it. Okay, that's so that you can't buy more of 3 bags actually, or equals 9 avocados. So there you go. You can't buy more than 9 avocados because you wouldn't have the money to do so. Moving right along here, we've got this question down here, number 2. 22q plus 73 is greater than 52q plus 63. On this kind of question, it's pretty standard because you're solving for a variable. You want to get the variables on one side and the numbers on the other. I'm going to use the golden rule, and I'm going to subtract 52q from both sides. I'm going to give negative 30q is plus 73 is greater than 63, and then I want to subtract 73 on both sides, right? That's going to disappear, so it's minus 30q is greater than negative 10, and then I'm going to divide by negative 30, and notice that those of you who are sharp, I'm going to then switch the sign. Look at that, right? And why do we do that? Well, because whenever we divide or multiply by a negative number, we flip the sign, and here it is. I'll do that in a different color here, make it a little bit more of a big deal. Flip the inequality sign when we divide by a negative, and that's what happened right here. We divided by negative 3 and negative 30, and we flip the sign. So be careful when you answer these in the box. They want you to answer this entire thing. They want you to put the q in, then less than 1/3, just like that. That's the way they want you to do it. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, but that's how those ones are solved. Be careful of that. Notice also you don't, when you're subtracting numbers, nothing's changing. Back here, you're not changing or flipping the sign from here to here because subtracting does not do it. You have to actually go ahead and divide and multiply in order to do that. Okay, thanks again.